Vote counting is underway in Johor in a state election that could test the unity of the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's coalition government. Ballot boxes from more than 4,000 voting streams have been transported to tallying centres after polling ended at 6 p.m. local time. Voter turnout stood at 67.44% as of 5 p.m. within the Election Commission's target of 65 to 70% among the state's 2.7 million eligible voters. A total of 172 candidates are contesting all 56 seats in the State Assembly. Full results are expected as early as 10 p.m. tonight. Our CNA's Afifah Ariffin joins us live at the latest from the polling centre in Johor. Afifah, what's the atmosphere like on the ground and how soon can we expect the first official results?
Well, Paul, I'm actually at the venue where Barisan Nasional leaders and supporters are currently gathered to await the results of this Johor state elections. And as you can hear, the atmosphere here is jubilant, expectant. Of course, the supporters are cheering every time the MC announces that the Barisan Nasional candidate is in the lead in all of the seats that they are contesting in. And just behind me, if you can see on the screen, that is Barisan Nasional's own tally board. And you can see the members of the media gathered around it, gathering around whenever a new figure comes in. All of the major parties will have similar operations tonight, with their counting agents relaying the tallies directly from the polling stations. According to Barisan Nasional, they are now in the lead in 49 seats, with PH in the lead in 7 seats. That's a very similar number to the DAP's internal tally of the 17 seats it's contesting in, where it's leading in 7 of them. Meanwhile, the unofficial count from Malaysia's state news agency Bernama says Barisan Nasional in the lead with 11 seats, Pakatan Harapan with 7 seats. But the important caveat is that these are all the unofficial party tallies. They may give us an indication of where the night is headed, but these numbers are not confirmed, at least until the counting is completed and the votes are all consolidated. And the Election Commission says that the full results could be in as early as 10 p.m. tonight.
Now, Afifah, how significant is this election and what could the outcome mean for the unity of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's unity government?
That's right, Paul. So this is a state election, and therefore the results tonight does not shift the balance at the federal level there in Putrajaya. We know Barisan Nasional and Pakatan Harapan are fighting in this election against one another, head-to-head in at least 14 seats, just them one against each other. But at the federal level, they are still partners in Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's Madani government. What the results could change, of course, is the dynamics between the parties and coalitions in that unity government. A decisive victory for Barisan Nasional would, of course, validate its decision to contest independently in this Johor election. It would, of course, strengthen its position and momentum as it heads into a series of state elections, beginning with Negeri Sembilan next week. For Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and Pakatan Harapan, the question really is whether they can maintain the 12 seats it won back in 2022 and whether they can make further inroads. If they do, then it is a signal that perhaps they are still able to rely on its core support base, especially in urban and mixed constituencies. But if they have a weak performance, especially coming after a dismal performance in the Sabah state elections, then observers say it is a question of whether Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim really has that sort of electoral pull, and whether Pakatan Harapan will be able to truly galvanize its party machineries, especially to make further inroads into Malay heartlands and expand beyond its traditional strongholds.
So once the results are in, what happens next?
Well, the first question tonight will be which party or coalition can cross the line. The magic number is 29 to form a simple majority, and then they'll be able to form government. And once that is clear, then the winning party will be able to nominate its chief minister candidate, although that nomination is not automatic. So in this case, if caretaker Chief Minister Onn Hafiz Ghazi is able to win big in his seat in Mashab, then he will likely be the candidate that's up for nomination to continue as the Chief Minister for Johor for the next term. But of course, that's all subject to the approval of the palace, who has discretion in these decisions, as we have seen in the last state elections back in 2022. So the results here really is not just about who governs Johor, but it will shape how coalitions strategize, how it positions themselves into a series of state elections, and that's to come, as well as the upcoming general election.
Afifah, thank you for that update. We've been speaking to CNA senior correspondent Afifah Ariffin, reporting from Johor Bahru.